Necessarily what we're worried about, Tony, but it's something that we've seen quite often in the last, year and a half.
Oh my goodness.
Rain, flooding.
I mean, even when you go back, Shannon, when you go back to even like last summer, like last July, we had so much rain. It was a very wet January.
Oh, I'm keeping track, don't worry.
Yeah, a very wet December as well, and a wet week obviously ahead. Looking at North Kingstown right now, the precipitation for now is very light and kind of light to moderate. I think any potential for street flooding is later on this evening, and the potential for any river flooding probably after midnight and then towards daybreak on Thursday and beyond. So the precipitation coming through right now, for now, is fairly light, but as you get closer to 9, 10 o'clock, it really starts to come down a lot hotter. Mid to upper 40s in most areas, very uniform temperatures, areas of fog. Showers and some drizzle. So that flood watch continues right on through tomorrow. Even though the rain tomorrow should be a lot lighter than tonight, rivers will continue to rise, and any leftover street flooding from the overnight may linger into the early morning commute. But keeping an eye on rivers and streams and that street flooding later tonight as well. Potential is there over that 7-hour period tonight of 2 to 3 inches of rain, and then more on the way for the weekend. Not the entire weekend. We're thinking like a Saturday night into Sunday morning. We're watching rivers and streams, looking at really two systems ahead, the one that's on top of us now through Thursday, and then another one the latter part of the weekend. We do have a flood warning for the Patuxent, the Wood River, and the Pawcatuck River in Westerly. Now, we're watching all rivers. That includes the Blackstone, which is anticipated to stay below flood stage. But even smaller rivers like the Pawcatuck, the Woonasquatucket, all have to be monitored. But the Patuxent River, here's the forecast, expected to rise rapidly overnight into Thursday and Friday, cresting Friday morning at 11.7 feet. That's in the moderate flood category. It's not in this major category like the most recent floods that you've had, but still significant and still keeping an eye on the situation there. You see the moisture that's starting to work in. Initially it's light, but there is much heavier rain just south of New York City and off the mid-Atlantic coastline, all draped along this what we call a stationary front. As these L's, these low pressure areas, ride north, they kind of wring out the atmosphere and produce some of the heavier rain for later tonight. Watch the time bar overnight. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, midnight, 2 in the morning, all this red and orange and yellow indicating very heavy rain, maybe even a rumble of thunder. Now, it's raining on Thursday, both morning and afternoon, but the intensity is much lighter. It's lighter rain, showers, but wet and windy nonetheless, with temperatures eventually falling into the upper 30s. Look at the clearing tomorrow night. Here we are on Friday, finally some sunshine. Make the most of it because it does cloud up on Saturday. This is Saturday morning. Daytime on Saturday is dry, but there'll be more rain arriving later Saturday night and into Sunday morning, where we have to watch the rivers and streams all over again. Anticipated rainfall for later in the evening and the pre-dawn hours, anywhere from 2 to nearly 3 inches of rain. So that's a lot of rain over a short amount of time. That's why the flood watch has been issued. So initially it's light, but boy, it really starts to ramp up the intensity of the rain as you get towards 9, 10, 11 o'clock this evening. The visibility poor as well. Starting to see some ponding of water on the roads. And then for tomorrow morning, showers likely, though lighter, windy and raw, temperatures in the lower 40s. Rivers will continue to rise despite the rain easing up and lingering street flooding, at least during the early morning hours. Very light showers, but kind of wet and raw during the afternoon hours with temperatures in the upper 40s. All right, 7-day forecast shows the wet, cool weather for tomorrow. River flooding will continue. Even though Friday's a nice day, river flooding will continue through at least the morning hours. Saturday day looks dry, another round of rain. We're thinking Saturday night into at least Sunday morning. Potential is there for an additional inch of rain. So just when the rivers are trying to recede, once again, you get another rain system the latter part of the weekend. We'll take one at a time. And this next one, the peak of it in terms of the rain intensity, is later in the evening and during the overnight hours. So if you have late night travel plans, do be mindful of that. And temperatures tomorrow generally in the middle to upper 40s.
I mean, you think of all the people that are so used to this flooding, they must see the forecast and just panic.
So those neighborhoods and locations where you had the flooding in December, you really need to monitor the forecast next 24 hours, unfortunately.
All right, Tony, thank you. Still ahead on 12 News at 5.